Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one area of eastern Kentucky is seeing more ATV usage on trails, and police warning to stay away. And Kentucky's sports betting is getting ready to take off soon.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:53, almost 53, there we go. And it is, wait, what did I say?
6:53.
Okay, see, it's like
6:33.
What day is it? Thursday?
Come on now.
It's August 3rd, I can tell you all that.
That's
but
right.
I think I might should let Brandon take it from here.
Trying to speed us forward. Listen, I'm okay if you speed us forward a little bit. We'll just be done with the newscast faster. Anyway, let's get into it this morning. The rain, that's what's in our brains this morning because it's just gloomy out there this morning. Cloudy skies, more heavy rain coming into play back down into Lake Cumberland area coming out of central Kentucky. So again, the rain train continues. You see it drifting across the Pulaski and Wayne County lines right now, and some lightning could be out there for some of that. So again, just take it easy out there. London camera offline. It was just working just a minute ago, but you see temperatures out there in the 60s and low 70s this morning, from 63 in Wise to 72 in Jacksboro. Everybody else is 70 or just above it or just below it there for the most part. Headlines for today: showers and some rumbles of thunder out there, cooler temperatures for the next couple of days, and then we return to a hot weekend ahead. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. A Western Kentucky man is dead after being shot by police. The Ohio County Sheriff says deputies were responding to a disturbance. When they arrived at the home, deputies say a man came out with a shotgun.
At no time did he ever point the weapon at our units, but basically made some statements and then retreated into the wooded area.
The sheriff says the man charged a deputy with his hands behind his back and she shot him. He later died at the hospital. State troopers are investigating. A teenager was killed on I-75 last night after being hit by a tire. Officials are saying it happened in a construction zone near the Clays Ferry Bridge. Police arrived around 8 p.m. and then he was transported to the hospital. The report says a tire came off of a passing vehicle and hit him in the torso. The coroner identified him as 18-year-old Braxton Willoughby from Mount Sterling. It appears a TikTok trend hit another Lexington car owner. James Knighton says someone stole his son's Hyundai overnight. We told you back in March, Lexington police said about 30 vehicles were stolen that month. All of them were Hyundais or Kias. A TikTok trend shows viewers a flaw in the car that makes them easier to steal.
And so what they do is they bust this down, and then they take this thing out. And inside of here, right here, they turn it and it starts the car up. I think we're gonna have to stay away from these brands for just a minute.
Police told Knighton they found the vehicle crashed and the suspect ran off. No arrests were made. The city of Whitesburg has received more calls than usual about motor vehicles on trails. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with Whitesburg Police Chief Tyrone Fields on why this is not fair to those using the trails.
We've always had complaints during the summer, but it seems like that this year it's really gotten a whole lot worse of people utilizing the tracks and the trails for their use of ATVs, which of course that's not what they were designed for.
Field says despite putting out signs and ordinances in the past, folks are continuing to ignore them.
There's signs that's posted all over, and I don't know, people, they ignore that. Yeah, you know, it's very frustrating to all of us. You know, like I said, those trails were designed for people to get out, to enjoy the scenery, to exercise, to walk, to run. You know, it's family oriented.
He says people should be able to use the trails without being disturbed by those vehicles.
You know, they shouldn't have to worry about, while they're walking with their family or their small children, to see a four-wheeler or a side-by-side or a dirt bike or something like that that's traveling down the trail at a high rate of speed. That's just completely unacceptable.
Field says they have increased police presence around the popular areas of the trail. He says fines will be up to $500 with the possibility of the vehicle being seized. You can call Whitesburg Police at 606-633-3714. Kentucky became the 38th state to legalize sports betting. The legislature passed the law in March. Now retail sports betting will go live in just a few weeks after the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission announced regulations. Kelsey Soto takes a deeper dive into the program and what bettors can expect next month.
When the Chiefs and Lions take the field on the first Thursday in September, Kentucky sports betting will be making their very own first kickoff. Lawmakers rejoiced at the long-awaited victory.
One thing people need to be reminded, we've had sports wagering or a form of sports wagering here for decades and decades in horse racing. So all we're doing is adding various types of options to horse racing and pari-mutuel wagering. So it made sense to take it through the Horse Racing Commission for that reason.
Retail betting will open during the NFL kickoff game on September 7th, and online sports betting will roll out a few weeks later on September 28th. State law allows up to 30 Kentucky betting apps and websites to launch.
For the last few years, a lot of our discretional spending has left the state, and we are now going to retain that. And not only that, we have things that other states don't have, which we have live horse racing. We have the best bourbon in the world.
In neighboring Ohio, it took almost a year after legislation was passed before the first legal sports wagers were placed. Meanwhile, Indiana was much quicker to get their program up and running, launching in less than 5 months.
We now have a portion of tax revenues going toward addicted gambling for the first time ever, and it's something that we needed to do, and this bill allowed us to do that.
Kentucky will allow sports betting for 18-year-olds, whereas other states require bettors to be 21 or older. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Horse racing tracks must pay a $500,000 fee to the state, plus an additional $50,000 per year to renew the license. Online providers would have to pay $50,000 up front and then $10,000 per year after that. Wagers placed at tracks would have an excise tax of 9.75% and online wagers a rate of 14.25%. New video this morning of an apparent meteor that shot through sky early Wednesday morning. This video is over Cave Run Lake from Cave Run Lake Marinas. You can see the meteor's reflection in the water. This same meteor was seen across central and eastern Kentucky. A professor at UK says August is the best month to see meteors.
So right now, yes, since we are now in the time of the Perseid meteor shower, the chances of seeing meteors are higher than they would be at some other time of the year.
The best time to see meteors is from midnight to 6 a.m. in the northeastern part of the sky.
And real quick, since we're coming right after that story, thank you to all of you who sent those videos in to us yesterday. I'm still getting videos this morning, and of course we can't use them all, but we appreciate you sending them regardless. 641 here, tracking some heavy rain back out toward the western parts of our area, coming into parts of Pulaski and Wayne counties right now. We'll zoom in a little closer. Some heavier pockets coming out of basically central Kentucky to the south of Danville, to the east of Campbellsville, and moving into our area over there in the Lake Cumberland area. So I-75 at Corbin, not too much there just yet. 71, that's one of the warmest spots in the region right now. Most areas already dropped back into the 60s, just a few little 70s hanging around out there. 63 in Wise, one of the cooler spots. Your out-the-door forecast today, take your umbrella. If you don't need it right now when you're leaving, you'll need it at some point today, so just stay weather aware and stay alert. Make sure you take care, get where you're going in those cars, and slow down. Olivia.
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Geothermal energy is quickly becoming an alternative to electric or even solar energy.